The sun had barely risen over Verona, but Romeo had not slept at all. His heart was full of excitement, love, and hope. The night before had changed everything. He was no longer the sad boy who cried for Rosaline. Now his heart belonged completely to Juliet, and Juliet, she loved him too. But there was a problem, a dangerous one. They belonged to enemy families. Still, Romeo was determined. He rushed through the quiet streets toward the cell of Friar Lawrence, a kind and wise priest who knew Romeo well. Inside the small garden, Friar Lawrence was collecting herbs and flowers. He believed that nature held both healing and poison, just like human emotions. As he spoke softly to himself, Romeo entered. "Good morning, Father," Romeo said. The friar looked surprised. "You are awake very early. Did you even sleep?" Romeo smiled. "I have not slept, but I feel happier than ever." Friar raised an eyebrow. "Yesterday you were heartbroken over Rosaline. What has changed so quickly?" Romeo stepped closer, his voice full of excitement. "I have fallen in love with someone else. Her name is Juliet, and she loves me too." Friar was shocked. "Soon, this kind of fast love can be dangerous." Romeo continued. "We want to get married today." Friar paused and thought deeply. At first, he was unsure, but then an idea came to his mind. If their love is true, he thought, maybe this marriage can end the hatred between the Montagues and Capulets. Finally, he nodded. "I will help you," Friar Lawrence said. "But remember, love that burns too fast can burn out quickly. Be careful." Agreed, though his heart was too full of joy to worry about danger. Meanwhile, in the Capulet house, Juliet was waiting anxiously. Her heart was beating fast. She could not stop thinking about Romeo. Will he keep his promise? She wondered. Her nurse, who had cared for Juliet since childhood, watched her closely. "You look nervous," the nurse said. Juliet tried to hide her feelings. "Nothing, I am just waiting." But she could not wait any longer. She sent the nurse to find Romeo and bring back news. "Go quickly," Juliet said. "Find him and ask what he plans." The nurse agreed, though she moved slowly, enjoying teasing Juliet along the way. Back in the streets of Verona, Romeo met the nurse. "Ah, Romeo," she called. Romeo greeted her respectfully. "I have come from Juliet," the nurse said. "If your intentions are serious, tell me your plan," answered without hesitation. "Tell Juliet to come to Friar Lawrence's cell this afternoon. We will be married there." The nurse smiled. "Good, I will tell her." When the nurse returned, Juliet rushed to her. "What did he say? What did he say?" The nurse took her time, pretending to be tired. "Oh, I am so exhausted. Let me rest first." Juliet grew impatient. "Please. Tell me." Finally, the nurse laughed and said, "Go to Friar Lawrence's cell this afternoon. You will be married there." Juliet's face lit up with happiness. "Love, my Romeo." That afternoon, in a quiet and sacred place, Romeo and Juliet stood together before Friar Lawrence. There were no grand decorations, no music, no families, only love. Friar Lawrence looked at them seriously. "Are you ready to promise your lives to each other?" They both nodded. "I do." They joined hands. In that moment, they became husband and wife, a secret marriage hidden from the world. But outside, trouble was waiting. On the hot streets of Verona, tension was rising again. Tybalt was still angry about Romeo's presence at the Capulet party. He had sent a challenge to Romeo, demanding a fight. Mercutio, Romeo's close friend, heard about it. He was bold, funny, but also quick-tempered. When Tybalt arrived looking for Romeo, Mercutio stepped forward. "What do you want, Tybalt?" Mercutio asked. "I am looking for Romeo," Tybalt replied coldly. At that moment, Romeo entered. He was calm, peaceful, very different from before. Tybalt faced him. "Romeo, you are a villain," Tybalt said. Romeo shook his head. "I have no reason to fight you." Tybalt was confused and insulted. "Are you afraid?" But Romeo could not reveal the truth, that Tybalt was now his family through marriage. Instead, he said gently, "I love you more than you understand." Mercutio could not stand it. "This is dishonor," he shouted. He drew his sword. "If you won't fight, I will." And suddenly the fight began. Swords clashed. People gathered. The tension exploded into violence. Romeo tried to stop them. "Stop, please stop." But it was too late. In the chaos, Tybalt stabbed Mercutio. At first, Mercutio laughed. "It's just a scratch," but then he realized the truth. He was dying. "Plague on both your houses," he cried. And with those words, Mercutio fell dead. Romeo stood frozen. His best friend was gone, killed. Something inside him changed. The calm, loving Romeo disappeared, replaced by anger and grief. "Tybalt, you will pay for this," Romeo said. Tybalt returned, ready to fight again. This time, Romeo did not hold back. Their swords clashed fiercely. And in a moment of rage, Romeo killed Tybalt. Silence filled the street. Tybalt lay dead. People gasped in shock. "Run, Romeo," Benvolio shouted. "The prince will punish you." Romeo looked at Tybalt's body. "I am fortune's fool." he whispered. Then he ran. Soon the prince arrived. The truth was told. Tybalt had killed Mercutio. Romeo had killed Tybalt. The prince made his decision. Romeo is banished from Verona, he declared. If he returns, he will die. That night, Romeo's happiness turned into sorrow. He was married to Juliet, but now he was forced to leave her forever.